The Honor 400 Pro is here, and you want to see how good the cameras are? Well, I put it up against two of the most popular phones on the planet right now. Of course, I'm talking about the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. And there are just two questions. Can a phone half the price compete with these phones? And can you tell the difference? So here's how this is going to work. You'll see the images without the titles first. I'll give you a few pointers of things to look out for, and then there'll be a short countdown for you to choose which one looks the best, and then I'll reveal which image is from which phone. So keep a scorecard as we go through this video, and let's see how the Honor 400 Pro stacks up against two of the best. All right, a portrait picture where the phones use AI edge detection to help create this blurry background effect. So look out for which one appears to have the most natural separation between the foreground and the blurry background. This sculpture was carved from natural wood, so which color tones look the most natural to you? Let's start the timer. You've got 10 seconds to decide which one took the best photo. This is an ultra-wide shot. Typically, ultra-wide lenses and the sensors used underneath those are not normally the top priority for phone manufacturers. Colors can shift between the primary and the ultra-wides quite often. But most notably, if you see any softness around the edges of these photos, this could indicate that that particular camera isn't that good. So take a close look at these and let me know what you think. All right, let's get this one out of the way real quick. There's a few things you need to know here. The lighting was lower than you'd think it would be based on how these images turned out. The Honor 400 Pro uses a 50 megapixel selfie camera, and it actually does have an ultra wide as well. And thirdly, I'm looking a bit fat. I am working on that though. Anyway, start the clock, 10 seconds, choose which one performed the best. And let me know if the results surprised you. Okay, a stained glass window is a great way to test how much detail is retained in the brightest spots of the image, because the light is literally beaming through these colors. So take a look and let me know which one handled the highlights the best. So I've been talking for quite a while now. I'm just going to roll a few photos for you guys. Keep an eye on things like detail, highlight control, colors, and then take a step back and look at the picture as an entire composition and choose your winner. And I'm going to set the timer to 20 seconds for these ones, just so you can get a good look. So this one is interesting because there's a few things in play here. When it comes to controlling extreme light sources and darkness all in one photo, smartphone AI often has a few different approaches to this. For example, some phones will take several shots with a variety of exposures and then kind of stitch them together at the end, and this can work really well. But then sometimes the phones will prioritize the subject of the image and expose for that and ignore everything else. And sometimes, as we can see here in the image on the right, the camera AI might just decide to lift all of the shadows to try and balance everything out. And again, sometimes this works well, but in this scenario, maybe not so much. So keep that info in mind when you look at the next few HDR shots. Okay, so when it comes to lower light photography on smartphones, again, there's quite a few different approaches to this. The type of lenses and sensors can definitely help with this, especially when it comes to light flares and ghosting. And actually light flares can sometimes work really well and look almost stylized. Anyway, there are three very different styles in these night photos. One has a kind of more natural approach, another has a very artificial enhanced approach, and then the other one kind of seems to sit in the middle. But most importantly, which night photo do you think looks the best? Alright, so this next one is interesting because it was significantly darker here compared to the previous one. But there were some light sources, and if you look right at the top of this church and at the clock face, you'll see these bright areas. When you look at the night sky, what tends to happen with darker shots is the phones will lift the ISO. That changes how sensitive the sensor is digitally, and it can introduce a lot of pixelation in places like the sky. And what smartphones tend to do is smooth out these areas. Sometimes they do it really well and it's almost unnoticeable, and then sometimes you see this artifacting. So take a look at the night sky here. Let me know which one looks like the most natural night sky. And now let's start that timer. Okay, so you've made it to the end of the video, and there's only one last test to do, and that is the selfie video test. Right now you're hearing the audio on phone number 1. Let me know what you think of this. This is the mic on phone number 2. How does it sound versus number 1? And this is the mic on phone number 3. And now these are what phones they are. So this video is mostly focused around the Honor phone. So do let me know how the Honor compared to the iPhone and the Galaxy. It is quite a bit cheaper than the other two phones. So let me know, is the trade-off worth it in your opinion? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It does take quite a bit of effort to mix up all of the photos and then reveal them and do all that kind of stuff. So if you appreciate the effort, a little thumbs up would be appreciated. See you in the next one. Don't be late.